Number 1, hit the like. Number 2, please subscribe. Number 3, hit the bell.
So today's video is going to be a little different. I got a special one for you today. But first let me apologize to all my subscribers for not getting a video out sooner. All 22 of you. There's been some craziness out in the world that's caused some delays. Look at this thing sweating. This corona's got corona. There were some family members that saw my videos and were nice enough to gift me these. Thank you, Paul and Charles. Now there's some pretty cool stuff in here that we're going to be searching through, including stuff from the New Orleans Mint and a 1922 No D mint mark. Now the 1922 No D, we're going to find out if it's the die pair worth gobs and gobs of money or just little gobs of money. Now because it was such a serious act of kindness by those two guys, I'm going to keep the jokes to a bare minimum.
Boo! 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 Boo!
Well, maybe just a couple more. It's going to be a fun one, let's do it. So we'll start with these pennies first. So market prices right now are all over the place because of the coronavirus. So when evaluating the price, we're going to use the red book. Boom. Okay, that's it for my joke quota. Okay. So some of these are just regular schmegula, run-of-the-mill old pennies. This 1914 is not a Denver. The 1914D is a key date. It'd be worth a pretty penny. I have a 1930 here. I found one of these on the last hunt. Two 1919s. Then we have some proofs. I have a 1951, a 1950, and a 1944. Then we have these war pennies, which I love. Now these three are Phillies. This top one here is a Denver. Now I checked for the boldly doubled mint mark. It didn't have it. But this Philly right here, this puppy is a beaut. There's absolutely no risk of tetanus on this one. It is gorgeous. Now you could probably get $1 a piece for each one of these war pennies. Then there's this 1938D. Now only 20,010,000 of these were minted. And you can get about $2 for this. Then there's this 1909 VDB. You can see the VDB initials right here. Now this one is a Philly, and 28 million VDBs were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now there are some without the VDB initials. What happened was Victor David Brenner put his initials on the reverse of the coin, and some of the public didn't like that, and they were like,
How dare you!
and thought it was a little vain. So in response, the Mint removed the initials. I could probably get $8 for this one. Now here's the one of interest. So here's a 1922. Now you would think with no mint mark that it came out of the Philadelphia Mint, but this year, 1922, pennies were only struck at the Denver Mint. Now there are 4 different die pairs for this no D variety, with die pair number 2 being the most valuable. Now die pair number 2 has a very defined reverse, which this one does not. Also die pair number 2, the date is pretty defined as well. Now what happened with the other die pairs is gunk and grease filled the die and ensured that the D mint mark did not show up. However, die pair number 2, the D was filed down by a mint worker. Again, I do not think it's a number 2, but here's the good news. So both of these are considered a no D. Now even at graded at a very fine, this penny can go for about $70. Now on to the silver. I was going to use the gloves for this one, but then I saw this in the bag. Now I'll start with this 1876. As you can see, it's in great condition. If I had to, I'd grade this one extra fine. According to the red book, I can get about $60 for this. Next we have another seated Liberty. This one's in 1853. So some things to look for on these is the 3/4, and you want to see if the arrows are missing or the rays are missing, both of which this coin has. Now according to the red book, I can get $30 for this. Next we have a no date standing Liberty. So at this stage of this coin's life, you could classify this one as junk silver. However, I hate to put even a price on this, considering what the spot price of silver is right now. Now the spot price of silver has moved dramatically because of the coronavirus right now, so if you have any silver, I suggest holding on to it till it goes up. Okay, onto this capped. Now it is an 1886. Now there's a couple things to look for on these that make them a little bit more valuable. There's an 1886 over a 1386. There's also a 50 over 00. But this one's just a regular schmegler one, and it is a little worn. According to the red book, I can get $80 for this. Now these walking Liberties are so worn I couldn't find the dates except for this one. I could see a 20 on this one, I couldn't even see the 19. And according to the red book, I can get 18 bucks for this. However, I doubt that to be the case in this environment. And then there's this beautiful seated Liberty. It is in great shape, and there's that O mint mark from the New Orleans Mint. Now 1,180,000 of these were struck. Gun to my head, I would grade this somewhere between a 40 and a 50, a high 40 at that. According to the red book, you can get about 300 bucks for this. It is a beaut. Now using the red book prices, the total potential value is over $565. Thank you, Charles and Paul. Thanks again for watching. Please stay healthy. God bless, and I'll see you soon. As you can see, it's in great condition.